Hi everybody. So I'm about to make a video. I'm gonna do it on my phone, come to think of it, because it's charging. Talk to you soon. Hi everybody. Good morning. It is 23 degrees, almost 10 a.m. and we are heading up to Mount Bachelor. The ski team, the race team, I'm gonna get the camera over a little bit here. The ski race team that I am the coach for this year we're doing a free ski today because the giant slalom race that was scheduled for today got canceled on account of the fact that we got some weather. I don't know if you can see out my driver's side door, but here you go. Straight blizzard status. It's been like 2 feet, I think, in the last 24 to 48 hours. So game on. Traffic is horrendous. I've been in traffic for like an hour and a half. Isabella, my wife, is up there working and says that not all the lifts are open, even though it's 10 a.m. So good stuff. So I wanted to make a quick video because I had a really interesting thought. It's not my thought. I don't think thoughts originate in people anyway. It's another thought, I suppose. I think thoughts are their own life form. That's not even my thought. I heard that iterated by Joe Rogan on his podcast and also other good thinkers. The idea that ideas in and of themselves, let's call them patterns of recognition of experience. Let's call them mental maps. Let's call them organized interpretive schema, are transpersonal and kind of have lives of their own, if you will. So here's one that just came through me that I want to share with you. You know what true strength is? Weakness. Well, that's not right because those are opposites. Well, let me explain then. I can easily make the argument as an aside, as a lateral justification of the central point, that strength is true strength. Really strong people manifest gentleness, kindness, whereas weak people, right? Morally weak people act wickedly with malice and so forth. So you'll grant me that strength, true strength, right? As opposed to like hypertrophy of a muscle. You understand the difference. True strength, you know, in the mythic, like the exalted word strength, is actually the ability to empathize, understand, and therefore shepherd and protect others. Is that some holier than thou thing? No. What it is a recognition of the fact that the true powerful individual, the hero, the mythic hero, is an individual that rejects the identity of the group for a communion with the identity with the self, with the experiential self. And what, does Buddhism and so forth teach us about the experience of the self? It's inherently suffering. So by virtue of that fact, an individual who is truly heroic is one who owns their own suffering. A person who says, hey, I've been through X, Y, or Z. And I just feel this so intensely in my life that I want to share it. I'm also listening to Maps of Meaning, which is Jordan Peterson's first book, and it's very dense and it's very interesting. And I find myself listening to 10, 15, 20 minutes of it and then stopping for virtue of the fact that I want to process the information that he's put into the book, because it's extraordinarily dense. And for that reason, I really enjoy it. So this is me chewing one of the concepts that he's presented in one of the chapters of Maps of Meaning, and that is that it's a long diatribe to explain the entirety of the concept, but in short, the revolutionary hero, the heroic individual, the mythic hero, the religious hero, the Christ figure, the exalted one, enlightenment, all of these concepts center around an individual's acceptance of their own suffering outside of identification with a group. Okay, so what does that mean? It means if I sit here and tell you I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a this other thing, and so, love me, that's weakness, fear, cowardice, and an unwillingness or inability, depending on the individual, right, to stand unredeemed. I'm paraphrasing from the book, unredeemed on their own 2 feet. So what's to truly be respected, if you listen to me, is if I say I'm Devin, right? I'm me, and I'm undefined, and I'm continually in the process, presently, of manifesting that definition that I choose with my words and my actions moving forward, right? And guess what? That's not in your control, it's in my control. But that's not a threat. It's not a threat to any other individual or any other group. And yet, at the same time, the heroic individual represents the highest perceived threat to the kingdom, to the static kingdom, to the residue of past heroes, to the known, okay? Because the hero, the individual, the suffering one, the experiential life, redefines the known through time. You see, as one, I should say, as you or as I, willingly and consciously experience our lives, we redefine known territory for the groups in which we participate. And no group can write in its tenets the entirety of the experience of life. That need be participated in presently, right? So, in short, I know this is kind of a winding diatribe, but I mean, I'm in a friggin' blizzard. You can see out the window, and I'm thinking, and I'm caffeinated, and I'm listening to a really powerful book. In addition, a lot of other podcasts and things that I listen to, I hear the same messages in different words, and it's fascinating to me because then I find the same wisdom in myself, and it's not mine, right? Again, these aren't things that I've generated. These are things that I've experienced and verified and put into my own words, and I'm now regurgitating. So forgive me if this isn't concise and terse and cutting and to the point, because I'm still navigating this understanding. And what is that? It's that life is tough. We don't know what's going to happen. Chaos is a real entity in life, as opposed, to and in contrary to order and known and systems of thought or behavior or activity or expectation. And furthermore, the righteous path, the path to, the kingdom of heaven, the path to enlightenment, the path to heroism, the path to goodness, right? Nirvana, is to simply be here now, is to participate in one's own life, in stark contrast to attempting to shield oneself from the terrible unknown of the suffering of life, right? To instead walk headlong, face forward, chest up towards the terrible dragon of chaos, as Jordan Peterson says, or the scourge of judgment, or the terror of societal what's the word when somebody gets banished? Societal refute or backlash, right? Those are all realities potentially for a let's call it emancipated individual. But the emancipated individual is the only real life, right? Systems, groups do not really exist. They are not actively participating in the creative, explorative process. They represent the knowledge gained from past exploration. So the call to action from an individual, for an individual, myself included, when they start participating in these ideas and processing these ideas, is to at once accept all individual suffering, to face my own life as mine, right? Not a component of group identity, nor others' faults, or faults is a good word. Others, not blaming other entities for my experience of life. To experience my perspective, point of view, directly, and then to actively share what knowledge I can bring to the table to what groups would assimilate that information to evolve themselves, the systems that they represent for future members, individuals, and heroes. Okay, so long story short, the initial thesis of this monologue was that strength is weakness. Well, what the fuck does that mean? Strength, true strength, says I'm broken, I'm weak, I'm pessimistic and sad, I'm insecure and insufficient, incompetent at times, I've lied, I hold malice and malicious intent in my heart, I have been hurt, I'm traumatized, been depressed, angry, vengeful, unnecessarily complacent, violent, wicked, and I'm a person. And I at once seek to manage these negative behaviors. And I stand unforgiven in the face of continued experience moving towards a goal of my choosing. And I'm willing to share myself in all its insufficiency with the world. Okay, the antithesis of that kind of bare recognition of the self in front of all that is would be to lie to oneself or others and claim godhood or holier than thou identity, or through communion with a group some kind of superiority, right? The unholy act holier than thou. The holy carry their cross uphill to be murdered by the group. You see? The unholy sit on thrones, sipping from golden cups, casting judgment. The holy judge themselves viciously and seek to find redemptive truths through continued trial and error. Okay, so to be truly strong. Hi everybody, this is a stormy day at Mount Bachelor. Look at this. I can't see because my goggles are pretty well fogged up, so we'll see how I do here. Well, we're going to home right now. Yeah.
Yeehaw! Yeeeew! Nice.
All right, let's go over there.
Woo.
Ladies and gentlemen, think of how crazy skiing is. We're already, what, like a meat machine on a floating rock flying through nothingness at like ridiculous speeds. But we're also gonna fly down frozen mountains with swords on our feet. Like what? So here's to ya. Can't see shit through my goggles, but I'm gonna make a good powder run happen. We're on skiers left of Leeway, Mount Bachelor. Here we go. Yeeeew! Ooh, look at the wind, dude. Big trees. Had to mark my territory. Don't eat the yellow snow. Not a lot of speed to be had through there. That way is closed. These are closed signs, so I can't veer too far that way, as nice as it is. So you'll see. I'm gonna stay near the out of bounds so I can get back to where I need to get to. But there should be a good powder zone here. Yeah, I'm in his boat. Once the old goggles fog up,
Yeah.
holy moly.
Do you know if there's any chance we're not hiking out of that? Do you know?
Good question. I do not. I know the people that I just rode the chairlift with were gonna go boot pack the cone. I mean, you're gonna be fine. You know, just keep your speed and then maybe huff it for a little bit. But I'm just trying to make sure I can see where I'm going. Yeah.
There's a red chair. Oh.
You're okay. Thank you. Okay. Whew. Central Station. Hey guys. How we doing? Good. How you going, Justin? Hello.
Hello.
I did one ride over on Pine. Have you guys been over here the whole time?
No, we did one up high.